Ranveer Brar is a well known Indian celebrity chef, television host, and a food stylist. He has gained popularity for his appearances on various Indian cooking shows and food related programs. Ranveer is known for his expertise in Indian cuisine and has been involved in promoting culinary arts and Indian regional cuisine globally. He is well known as the host of popular television food shows and as a judge in MasterChef India, alongside fellow chefs Sanjeev Kapoor and Vikas Khanna. He has set up restaurants in India and in Boston and curated the menu of many more. Our conversation with him was recorded back in 2017 when he was visiting a friend of his, also a well known chef in Boston. Here are excerpts from that conversation that continue to inspire many.
Wow. Now, you started this off with an excellent note back in Boston. So tell us about that. When were you in Boston before and what were you doing here?
When you said excellent note, I thought you were talking about the Chardonnay. But, but so I was here 2006 and opened a restaurant called Bank, Banq, on 1375 Washington in South End. Ran that for 2 years. Worked with the One World Cuisine group. So yeah, as a city that really supported my food, the kind of stuff that I did, always feels good to be back. Yeah.
Now, speaking of being a chef, how did your journey begin as a chef?
So I started off in Lucknow. I started on the streets of Lucknow. Yeah, cooking with kebab vendors, and then I did my formal education. Worked with the Taj, the Oberoi, the Radisson. But yeah, Lucknow has a lot to do with what I cook and the way I cook.
Do you have a signature style?
My signature style is something that I call experiential. I would never make the same dish twice. That's my signature style. I believe that when you've crossed a bridge, it's never the same bridge. It's never the same you. So as food needs to change, needs to keep evolving. My travels need to show in food. The person that I am needs to show in food. I'm not the same person every minute. You're not the same person. So that's my style. It's more expressive and creative, as I call it. Very difficult doing that in a restaurant, because restaurant people expect consistency. They don't, they want the same dishes over and over again. But yeah, I like to do new stuff every time.
And actually, you just answered the question I was going to ask you, because it works fine with this creativity and this whole newness to every time you cook. It works absolutely great with the kind of work that you do, which is hosting and judging shows and traveling and doing all sorts of fun stuff with food, and rightly called the food stylist, which I love the term. After doing so many different things, I mean, you obviously come across as a person who's very accomplished and very satisfied with his journey. What's your favorite part of the journey? I'm sure it comes with a lot of struggles, which people don't see, but is it the struggles that you really enjoyed, or is it the successes that you're enjoying more?
Um, so for me, the favorite part essentially is the failures. I think successes make you complacent. So when I came to Boston till then, whatever I'd done, it worked. My first restaurant shutting down taught me a lot. It taught me that everybody's prone to failure, and failure is not bad. So that's what I remember. And that's what I keep close to my heart. Should always remember your failures and learn from them. Yeah.
Now, as a chef, do you have a favorite food that you enjoy, like Italian or any certain regional food that you enjoy?
Khichdi.
Now, I'm sure the Desis in Boston are gonna love hearing that word.
Khichdi with lots of desi ghee and lots of papad and achar on the side. That's what I love.
So that's what you like to do on a night when you're by yourselves.
Boston winters, this time try that. Lots of khichdi, lots of ghee and lots of papad.
So there's a little bit of spice and a little bit of homey comfort food.
Nothing beats comfort.
So what is it that you look for when you're judging chefs, or when you're even looking at people who are just in the beginning of their journey? What is it that tells you that yes, this guy has it, or this person has it in them to make it to the next level?
Um, so there are three things that you look for when you're looking at somebody who's competing. Um, One is you look for the thought. So every dish needs to have a thought behind it. You cannot just create something because you know how to make it. There needs to be a thought behind a dish, and how well has the thought been translated onto the plate is what matters. Then there's obviously the taste. Taste is key because that's the foundation on which any dish stands. Whether all across the world, the taste is the foundation. You cannot change that principle. Um, and the presentation, of course. Now, the presentation, while it stands on top of the pyramid, you cannot base your dish on presentation. You have to base it on taste, and you have to make sure you present it well. It's important, but like I say, the foundation is taste, and what really makes the difference is the thought behind the dish. Just yeah, the concept, the story behind the dish, the concept, your thought, your feeling, and how well you've expressed it into a dish. That's actually the differentiating factor. Yeah.
That's some really good advice for somebody who's looking to participate in a competition, of course. And this world today, over the years, I feel that it's become more competitive, and there's so many competitions happening these days, and everybody seems to want to be part of it and grow through that path. Now, were there any competitions in your journey? Were you a participant in any of the competitions?
Yeah, so I was a part of the World Pastry Forum when it happened here in Phoenix, 2004. That was that, and there were a lot of competitions early in life. The Mango Festival, the Indian Culinary Forum competition and stuff. I think they're important. Competitions are very important. One is there always wake-up calls because you get to see what the industry is at par with. Uh, Also, competitions are important because normally when you cook, you're never under real pressure. Competitions put you in pressure, and you have to cook well as well. So I think they bring out the best new. Yeah.
Speaking of ingredients a little bit, do you have, I know you do a variety of different foods. Do you have a favorite ingredient that you like to add to everything you cook? Besides salt. Or sugar, rather.
Yeah. So for me, ultimately coriander. Eventually, I don't know why it always comes into all my dishes. So, so coriander happens to be that kind of an ingredient. Um, Other than that, no, not really. It's more it's more fascination. So the kitchen that you're in, you find something good, you just put it in. It's very instinctive. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's always nice to hear different perspectives, and especially coming from experts. That's good. Yes, that's wonderful. Now, did it run in your family too, or were you the outlier?
No, I was definitely not the. Um we're not a family of cooks. Yeah, so we're a family of engineers and army officers, and so I was the odd one out when I said, "Hey, I want to be a cook." It took some time to warm up to the idea. But eventually, I think they didn't have a choice. The family didn't have a choice, so it all worked out in the end, and that's what I say. It's not. See, I think it's important not to conform to what's going on. It's very important to carve a path for yourself. Um, and while you are the odd one out, for me it's a good sign. If you're not fitting in, it's a good sign. Then don't try to fit in. Try to make a way for yourself. Yeah.
I think that message is going to resonate with a lot of us out there who are listening, as well as me. I am also an outlier, the odd one out. So I'm sure there's a lot of people who can understand and really feel what you just said, that you have to be self-aware. You have to be aware of what you want as a person, what makes you happy, and then everything else seems to fall in place once you make up your mind. As they say, the universe conspires to make it happen. So looks like it did make it happen for the two of you. So thank you so much for sharing your journeys. It was beautiful talking to both of you and feeling that bond and that of friendship, which is amazing in today's world to be able to have that, a selfless bond, unconditional, as you said. in the same field, which is awesome. I think that itself is a huge inspiration for a lot of us out there. So thank you.
Thank you very much. It was fun talking to you. It was fun reliving my times in Boston, reliving our relationship through you. Yeah,
And we do hope to see you more often in Boston.
inshallah, hopefully. Yeah.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate your support.